work. You see me heavy work, 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 work. You see me do me dirt, 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 dirt.
Hey everybody, and welcome back to my channel. So today I wanted to film a semi get ready with me video, but mostly I wanted to focus on the eye makeup. And if you need to see what my face routine is going to be, just refer to my previous video. I'm going to be using the Milani Conceal and Perfect 2-in-1 foundation and concealer. I really love it, and I did a demo and first impression of this product in my previous video. So without any further ado, I think we should just hop right into it, you guys. So the first thing I want to do is I've already prepped my skin. I haven't primed it with my foundation products yet because I'm going to be doing my foundation last. We're going to start with the eyes today. But I'm going to start with my anti-aging eyeshadow primer from Urban Decay. And the reason I'm doing eyes first today is because I'm going to be working with some blue colors, and sometimes I find with blue and blacks and just any kind of dark tones that they tend to kind of make a mess. So this is just an easier way of avoiding that mess if possible. So I'm using a dual-sided NYX Cosmetics brush for concealer and just buffing this eyeshadow primer all over me lid. Okay guys, so the next thing I did was give myself a mini facelift and put my Scotch tape on. Good old trusty Scotch tape. So I'm going to be working with a few palettes today. I really wanted to do a blue, like icy kind of look. So I'm going to be working with the Juvia's Place Nubian 2 palette, trying to incorporate this blue and this lighter tone, maybe even this taupey color here. And I also want to go in with the Saharan palette from Juvia's Place. And first thing I want to do, because we have the eyeshadow base on, I just want to set it with a matte white powder. So I'm going to use my NYX Cosmetics, my Sculpted Face, and just use this really nice white tone just to set the primer. And okay, so now that we have that on, we're going to just hop right into eyeshadows. I'm going to start with a fluffy Beige Cosmetics brush, and basically anything nice and fluffy because you want to have a very light application of this color. And generally the fluffier the brush, the least amount of product, and the more dense and tight, you guys know it's going to put more product on. So going into the Urban Decay Gwen Stefani palette, I'm going to take Anaheim and Stark, which are both in like the kind of taupey brownish family, and they're cool tones. I'm going to start with Stark because it's the lightest, and just apply that right into my crease on the fluffy brush. So this is going to just be a nice rich color. Then using that same brush, I'm going to go into the color Anaheim, which is a little bit of a cooler tone. And again, it's in that kind of taupey, almost grayish brown family. And just take a little bit on this fluffy brush and generally just go back and forth gently. And we're just going to slowly kind of work this color in. So now using a Morphe 441, which is a little bit softer and densely packed, we're going to go into the color Zone, which is a real like true taupe color. And this is going to hug our crease line a little bit further than the other brush that we were working with. So you're going to start at the outside corner, applying the majority of the dark and depth to the outside, and then slowly working your way into the inside corner of your crease. Try not to go past, you know, the actual like tear duct area. You want to kind of focus this color mostly on the outside 3/4. But this is just going to start shaping your crease and giving you a little bit of definition. So I first start right in the crease area, and then I just slowly kind of circle my way upwards into some of those lighter, softer colors, so that this way it's nice and blended. And you can even take a little bit of this also into that V on the outside corner. I always feel like it looks so weird when you have no other makeup on with your eyes. Like I just feel like at first it'll look so terrible, but then once, you know, you clean everything up and put your foundation on, it just makes the whole look come together. So don't fret, my pets, okay? It will get better. So now using a tapered blending E40 from Sigma, which looks like this. Let's go into using that UD Gwen Stefani palette still. We're gonna go into the color Serious, which is this kind of like dark, matte, grayish, blackish color. On camera with the lighting, it actually looks a much softer gray, but in person it kind of appears much deeper. So just go very gently with this color. Again, using that tapered brush, just take a few taps, tap it out. If you want, use the back of your hand. That's always like a good way of kind of getting the idea of how intense the color is going to come out. But we're just going to be focusing. We're just going to be focusing this on the outside corner mostly, and then gently pulling it into the center of the crease. So starting on the outside corner, just start circling right into that V area with this brush. And you can go on the, like, you know, outside corner of your eyelid, and then of course the V area, which is like right in the crease. And use your tape as your guide. And if you don't have tape, it's okay if you kind of overdo it and make a little mess, because you can clean this up with a makeup wipe. But we're just okay, guys, so now using an e.l.f. contour brush. You can use any kind of really small, dense crease brush, but this is called the e.l.f. contour brush. We're going to go into the color Cleopatra, which is a really kind of crystallized blue, and this is in the Nubian 2 palette from Juvia's Place. And you're going to basically trace over where you have placed that gray tone color, and just kind of using this smaller brush, really get in there, circle this color into the lid, on the outside corner of the lid, into the crease line, and just really, you know, blend it and circle it until it kind of covers up majority of that gray tone. The gray really helps to like pop this blue. So when you're, you know, applying this on top, it's going to allow it to come up a lighter tone and really show, and not, you know, sometimes with blues you can tend to lose them in the skin. So this is going to allow that blue to really come up a little more true to color. So now that we have this gorgeous blue on the, you know, outside corner coming into the halfway point of the lid, we're going to take a really nice flat brush. This is an M124 Morphe brush, and we're going to just wet that brush. So you can use water, spritz, whatever you like. I'm going to use Maria Badescu Rose Water. And we're going to take that really gorgeous iced blue color Iman from the Saharan palette from Juvia's Place. We're going to dip our brush into that. And then while gently patting, we're not going to rub, we're going to start this on the inside corner of the eye and just kind of map out that front portion of your eyelid. Okay guys, so now we're going to trick you up just a little bit, okay? So I went ahead and did my other eye, and now what we're going to do is go back into that Cleopatra blue from the Nubian 2 palette, and we're going to take that flat brush, the 124, wet it again. Now this time we're going to dip it into Cleopatra, and we're going to apply this color right in the middle where the two colors kind of merge, because we're going to create a really soft blue right in the middle. And no matter what, make sure you keep those inside corners nice and white with that icy blue. You don't want to, you know, go over that. Make sure that front portion of the eyelid is nice and bright. But now what we're going to do is go into this really pretty color, Kia, and this is kind of like a really deep emerald teal color. So it's still in that blue family, but now we're going with a little bit more green. So wet that brush again, that 124, dip it into Kia, and now Kia is going to go on the outside corner of the lid, right in that V. So we're going to press this on top of the color that we originally placed, which was that Cleopatra color. And we're going to just press this on the outside corner of the eyelid, right into the crease area there. And you have your tape, so it's okay if it gets on the tape, because once we remove it, it's going to have a really pretty, just sharp edge to it. Take a small MAC brush. This is the 252. This was a limited edition brush. And I'm just going to wet this and go back into that icy color Iman and just make sure that I tap this again on the inside corner so it's nice and sharp, nice and bright. And you can even bring this color into the tear duct. You can use it on the same brush or you can use a smaller brush, but I want to apply this right in that inside corner so that it really brightens up because the rest of the eye is very dark and dramatic. So this, now let's get that set over here. So now that we have the majority of our shadows set, I'm just going to go right back into that Urban Decay palette again and pick up my E40 brush one more time with a little bit of that color Serious, that gray color, and just making sure that my crease area is nice and smoky. For the inside portion of the crease, go back with your 441 and take a little bit of Zone and a little bit of Anaheim, mix them together and just apply that again right into the front portion of the crease and then blend it into the gray so it tones it down and doesn't keep it too harsh or too muddy. So now just gently remove the tape. And if you have any kind of fallout at this point, let's just clean it up using a makeup wipe. So you're just going to very gently pull upwards towards your hairline. Okay, so one of two things. You can just go right in with a makeup wipe, or if you have some fallout and you think you can get it with just dusting it away, try that, whatever you want. If that smears more makeup, then you can go in at this point with a makeup wipe. I'm going to use my Equate Nighttime Soothing Lavender Wipes, even though it's daytime, but I just love lavender, and it smells good, and it makes me calm down and de-stress. So I'm just going to go in with that and clean up the edges now, making sure it's really nice and clean. Okay guys, so at this point I want to use my Inglot 77 eyeliner gel, and I'm going to be using an e.l.f. angled brush to apply that. But before I do my eyeliner, I'm going to put on my L'Oreal Revitalift Miracle Blur. This I use as a primer, and I like to give my primer a few minutes to set in. So since we're going to be working on some eyeliner, and that can take me some time, I don't know about you guys, but eyeliner's a fun game to play for me. It's either going to go really well or not so well. Don't judge my eyeliner skills. I am no Desi Perkins, but you know what? Practice is going to make perfect, and one day I'm going to be up there with her. Okay? Okay. So I'm going to follow the shape of the eye makeup that we have currently going on and just kind of come a little bit in front of that and start creating this wing here. And I'm just gently pressing this liner, and I want to keep my liner really thin from the halfway mark on the eye, and then get it, you know, to go gradually thicker as it comes out to the wing area. So I'm just going to press it and build the line real slow. I like to kind of press dots on the areas that I want to build and just kind of, you know, push it into my lash line. Yeah, so basically what I've seen Desi do, Desi Perkins, if you don't know, go Google her. She's freaking amazing. I love her. Just take a liquid liner of some sort. I'm going to use the Super Slim from L'Oreal, and that can kind of help you to get a more perfected point on the edge. And you're just going to kind of trace over top of the gel and make it really nice and dark this way. Okay, so now that we look like a total feline cat here going on, we're just going to hop into the face. I'm not going to show you guys. I'm going to do this off camera, but again, I'm using Milani's Conceal and Perfect Foundation, which I reviewed in my previous video. Can't say it enough, y'all. Shameless plugging. But I'm going to go and put that on in my concealer and my powders and all that grand stuff. And then I'm going to do my brows at the end because it's just way too much pressure for me to do them like before foundation, because then I get like so anxious. Oh my god, like what if I get powders and concealers and everything into my brows after I just filled them? So I can't be dealing with that kind of stress in my life right now. So I will do my brows at the end, and I will show you guys how I do my brows. Okay guys, so our face is coming together. I now feel like a normal human being now that I have my like highlight on and my contour and all that good stuff. So I'm going to be working with lashes today. These are the Lash Me Up from, Sassy lashes from Lash Me Up. Can you guys see that? No, it's kind of like hard to see with the... But to start the definition, I'm going to use this, pencil that's seen its better days. It's a dual-sided pencil from Loreal, and it's a brow stylist definer. This is definitely more of your old school feathering pencil. There's not a whole lot of color and pigment to it, but I'm just going to do it to initially kind of line and figure out where I want my brows to go, and then fill in with the gel and make them really sharp and defined. So I like to start by brushing my brow hairs upward just to get the natural shape of the arch. And then just kind of in small little strokes, just gently trace along underneath the brow until I figure out the direction that I want my brow to basically go in. And then if you kind of like look straight ahead, you can see where the brows naturally would arch or where they should. It's usually by the iris or the pupil or the outside of the iris. It all depends on the shape of your face, the length that you're going for, all that good stuff. But I'm just gonna gently trace along here. Okay guys, so once you have the base of your brows done, and this is optional, you don't have to do your brows this way, this is just what works for me. But now I'm gonna go in with that swoolie brush and just kind of gently pull the top of the brow downward so I can kind of get the idea of what the top of the brow is gonna shape into. And so I'm gonna pull my hairs down on top and just kind of follow again the natural shape, but now I'm going to come down and do some downward strokes in the direction that my hair would grow, and just kind of gently like press into it and just make tiny little strokes of hair to make it look as natural as possible. Okay, so originally I was going to go and start with the pencil and then go in with the brow gel, but I actually really like the naturalness and the softness of the pencil today, and it's a little bit lighter too than the gel. The gel is a little bit deeper in color, so I'm just going to stick with what we have, and I'm just going to carve out a little bit with my brows using, let's see, we'll use some MAC Pro Longwear Concealer, and I'm using a flat-edged synthetic brush. And this is from Beige Cosmetics. And basically you're just going to take a little bit of concealer on the tip of your brush, and you're just going to gently kind of define underneath the brow. So in tiny strokes, just make like a little tiny stroke and trace out the brow with the concealer. This will help to also kind of reduce some of that, contour that you have in the crease of your eye, like your actual like crease color, if you feel like you overdid a little bit. This is a small fluffy eyeshadow brush from Real Techniques, and just make sure that you kind of go back and forth and blend the concealer so that it doesn't look too slimy or choppy underneath your eye. You want it to really blend, and also make sure that it's keeping your shadow nice and blended too, because you don't want to look like you cut off your crease color. So at this point guys, I'm going to now put my eyelashes on, and then we will come back and look at the final look. I'm also going to put something on my lips. I'm not really sure what yet. I think it's probably just going to be nude because this is a very smoky rich look, but we'll meet back in a few minutes. Okay guys, so that completes the look, And basically, I forgot to tell you guys the most important step with brows. I went in and did this off camera, but I used Tweezerman's Brow Mousse because when you work with a pencil especially, and it's designed to kind of be more of like a shorter wear or just a more natural wear, I think setting it with a clear brow gel or mousse is super important because it allows you to keep your definition throughout the day and not lose your brows, because the slightest tug or hand touch and you might lose a brow with a soft pencil like that. So definitely get you some brow gel. And I also used my Tweezerman Eye Enhance pencil. It's a dual-sided pencil with color and highlight, and I took the highlighted portion, which is a really pretty soft kind of like sheer glow, and just put that right into the point of the brow, like right where it arches, to give it a little bit of an emphasis, so when you turn your face and the light hits it, you get that little bit of a glow. Also, I went in with my e.l.f. under eye brightener, you guys. I can't say enough about this stuff. I snatched my nose more on the sides with it and also brightened underneath my eyes. Since we don't have any makeup underneath, I want it really bright and then all the smokiness on top. And then lastly, for the lips, I used whatever is left here of my NYX Mauve lip liner pencil. This is one of my favorite colors in sticking with the cooler tones. It's a really nice kind of nudish, mauve-y, cool based color, so there's not a whole lot of warmth in there. And then on top of that, I used Saucy Mauve, which is a L'Oreal Paris color, and I'll show you what that looks like. It almost looks real purple and plummy on camera, but when you put it on in real life, real time, it's just a gorgeous like nude mauve color, and again, it's in that cooler tone family. So cool colors is really good for this kind of an eyeshadow look, and it's also good for making your teeth look whiter. So there you go. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. I had a ton of fun making it for you. I feel like, you know, now you're starting to get a little bit more of my personality, and I do have a tutorial idea in mind, but not so much for makeup, more to tell you guys a little bit about myself. So if that's something that would interest you, please comment down below and let me know what you think about that. As always, subscribe to my channel. If you're new to my channel, please subscribe, give me a chance. I swear I'm a lot of fun. And thumbs up, comment, all that good stuff. I will link different information down below of where else you can reach me. And if you have any questions about the products that I used, I will also put that down there as well. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again soon.